Alright, I'm back with a video that I certainly wasn't expecting to make today. I held off making one in case something happened in Destiny Reset. Guess what didn't happen? Anything. So instead, I'm going to talk about the new Blizzard announcement of Unannounced Survival Game, which the fact that it is announced kind of negates the fact that it's unannounced, so now it's just an announced survival game, I guess. But it does not have a name. And it is surprising because Blizzard is not exactly a company that makes new IPs very often, but this is supposed to be a new IP for them. And this whole announcement was a little odd. So we have to kind of obviously set up the context for this, where we are just a week or so after the blockbuster announcement that Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard for $70 billion, and that includes all of its game franchises. The main ones are obviously Call of Duty, and then Blizzard's existing IPs, which are Overwatch and Diablo in terms of things they're currently making, but also kind of the long-running World of Warcraft series, and then StarCraft, if that ever comes back to life again, as well as a bunch of dormant Activision IPs like Guitar Hero. I don't know, everybody mentioned Guitar Hero. Bobby Kotick and Phil Spencer mentioned Guitar Hero, so I'm pretty sure they want to bring back Guitar Hero. But now it also includes whatever this is going to be, and it's significant because, again, Blizzard, I think when they announced Overwatch, it was close to 20 years after they announced, was the last one before that Warcraft or Diablo? I don't remember, but it was a long time. It was like 15 or 20 years, so this is something they do not do very often. And I think most people kind of figured their plate was a little full at the moment. They have seen a lot of departures, both kind of in the run-up to all the scandals, but also because of the scandals, whether that is people that have dropped out of the workforce because of harassment, whether it's the great purge that is still ongoing of people who were harassing people or complicit in the harassment. They have left as well. And then some people have just left because Jeff from Overwatch left just to go do his own thing, and that didn't seem to be accompanied with any sort of scandal. It's just people move on. But they have to, be working on Overwatch 2, which was just delayed after all of these departures and things like that. But it's also Diablo 4, which was also delayed, and that's even kind of more years out. So what we're seeing here is a very, very early announcement for a new project, in that I would not expect to see whatever this is in a final form for at least 4 or 5 years. Like it sounds like this is in the very, very early stages, and the job listings do suggest that it is a AAA game, so this is not some like little side project they're doing. I thought I would just kind of read the section that they posted here. It says, I won't read the whole thing, but like what they posted is essentially like a recruiting document, where this isn't like the announcement of like the game in a traditional sense. There's no trailer. There's a couple pieces of art, which we'll go through, and there's kind of a loose description here. And just the intro is, Blizzard is embarking on our next quest. We are going on a journey to a whole new universe, home to a brand new survival game for PC and console. A place full of heroes we have yet to meet, stories yet to be told, and adventures yet to be lived. A vast realm of possibility waiting to be explored. And then that is accompanied by 2 pieces of art. One shows kind of a dreary city thing, and then it looks like a park, and then that gives way to a kind of secret portal to some sort of Genshin Impact looking floating castle realm, where these 2 teenagers are walking into there and finding some sort of Overwatch Narnia or whatever's going on here. The second piece of art is probably more interesting, where it has a kind of, it's definitely dinosaur-ish themed armor, where this dude is wearing like a pterodactyl heads, but probably not. It's probably some new creature, but he's got like claws around his neck. He's got a knife. He's got arrows. He's got fur. It's like Horizon Zero Dawn meets Robin Hood meets League of Legends is kind of the style, I would say, here. And then they are just listing all the positions they're recruiting for. So this is something that is not, it's not an Overwatch campaign or something like that, which is what we thought they might do with kind of the expansion of the Overwatch brand. Like maybe they would just do a kind of full-on MMORPG type thing like they were originally going to plan to with Project Titan. Overwatch is still allegedly getting story missions and like a single-player campaign to a certain extent with Overwatch 2. We'll see if that still ends up being the plan. And this is marketed as a survival game. So I'm trying to think of what technically even constitutes a survival game in this day and age. Like that's kind of a big expansive term now, where immediately when I think of survival game, I just think of filling up like food and drink meters all the time, which is very annoying. But that can be kind of anything, where this could be like some big kind of open sandbox where you're just trying to survive, and then fight against other players, team up with other players, that kind of thing. Or um, when you say survival game, I keep thinking of something like Fallout 76, which is it has like survival elements that eventually were toned down over time, but at its core, it's pretty much an MMO. Like, and they got in trouble because they didn't have enough kind of RPG elements, where they didn't even have NPCs in that game. So it's not quite clear what this is meant to be. If this is going to be kind of a big single player adventure, maybe co-op, or if this is meant to be some sort of new multiplayer title with survival aspects and a lot of PvP elements, things like that. Blizzard has obviously kind of gone back and forth. A lot of their games have some sort of PvP element to them. The exception to that is Diablo, where that is a almost entirely single player co-op game. But in this day and age, this does seem like the trend is to skew more toward multiplayer. So that would be kind of my initial guess. Maybe at least something with a significant multiplayer component to it, in the survival aspect. I do sort of wonder, like, I'm guessing this is not just like a battle royale, and I don't think we're going to be sitting on Blizzard to make a battle royale 5 years from now. It's got to be more kind of advanced and complicated than that. Jason Schreier, who has reported on all the issues from Activision Blizzard and stuff, he has inside sources, and he says, for what it's worth, even some of the most disgruntled Blizzard employees rave about this game and team. So that's good news. We don't know exactly like who is making up this team. It's not listed, and I do have a lot of questions about what's the state of Blizzard right now. Like, what is the plan for building this out after Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4? Is Overwatch 2 are they just going to be like kind of finishing that up the next year or so, and then just being kind of moving on from Overwatch after that? Like, it's not like the game has received, the game has essentially stopped support in favor of developing stuff for Overwatch 2. So it strikes me as like they might just kind of be putting Overwatch on ice once they finish 2 to a certain extent, unless they're going to go crazy hard into, live updates and stuff all over again. But the state of that project has always seemed very weird. Diablo 4, everything I've seen from Diablo 4 looks very promising. It just eternally looks very far away. Where like we see these really kind of high quality vertical slices, but we have no real idea what the kind of overall state of the game is. And the game director left as part of the harassment complicity scandal, and so it's, again, the state of that project is up in the air. So I do wonder what chunk of Blizzard is building this, who's kind of leading this team, what the target audience is for this. But I think we have some elements here that they're giving away, kind of maybe not the art style, but at least kind of some of the concepts, which seem pretty fantastical, and the idea that this is going to be a survival game, which I wouldn't classify anything Blizzard has right now as a survival game. So this is going to be something kind of new in their arsenal. And just the fact that it's a new IP from Blizzard at all is pretty significant. I mean, they have, some of the most iconic IPs in gaming history, and it would not be a surprise to be like, okay, we're going to do a new game in the StarCraft universe in a different genre, or a new Warcraft game in a different genre, something like that. But that is not what they're doing here, and they are doing something completely new after having Overwatch be its first new IP in like 15, 20 years. Now we are... When did Overwatch come out? I don't know, like 4 years ago, something like that, 3 or 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago? Was it 20... It wasn't 2016, was it? I don't know. Anyway, it hasn't been that long is the point. It's been... So for Blizzard to introduce a new IP this soon after Overwatch is fairly uncharacteristic for how the company's operated, but... it's possible with this Microsoft acquisition, Microsoft will be able to throw a lot of new resources their way. And obviously, it kind of raises the idea that probably, they said for PC and console, so this is probably going to be an Xbox exclusive game. I would assume any new projects announced through Blizzard are going to be Xbox exclusive. I am not even going to rule out Overwatch 2's, single player console missions being Xbox only, or Diablo 4's, if they do a console adaptation of that being Xbox only. That seems plausible to me. And that has been kind of separate from this Call of Duty conversation where Phil Spencer is like, no, it's going to be multi-platform, and everyone's parsing his words. So I think that could go either way. But something like this being announced, it seemed, I can't imagine any reason that would go on PlayStation at the current rate, like unless in 2029 or whatever this game comes out, that Game Pass ends up on PlayStation. But it is always, it's always hard to see that happening. So that's kind of my initial thoughts on this announcement, where it's pretty much a job listing, and yet a lot of really, really early teases like this are more or less job listings anyway, and it is very, very hard to recruit in this industry right now, as is. Plus, you are Blizzard, who has been embroiled in massive amounts of scandal, so that it is even harder to recruit. There's phrasing like, come write the next chapter of Blizzard and stuff, and I think the people that are left, who are hopefully not harassers, are trying to turn the page and trying to make cool stuff again, which obviously that's what everyone wants to see, and I guess we will see what kind of things get produced from this. I do not know when we're going to see anything substantive from this, but my guess is they go quiet for a pretty long time. I don't think they're going to start some sort of like huge ad cycle for this, like many, many years in advance. We might get a title and some more art and stuff, but I would not imagine the kind of campaign for this is going to ramp up for quite a while. So we'll see. But it's exciting. It's the Blizzard of old. It's always cool to see what they're up to. It's just the company has been not what it was for such a long time now, for many, many bad reasons, and we will see if they can turn things around under Microsoft. And everyone within the company seems somewhat enthused by that idea. Also, I just remember that Blizzard did get who are not High Moon, the other one, the really good. I can't remember the name of the studio. You know what I'm talking about. The guys who worked on Destiny, they got ported into Blizzard and are able to help Blizzard now. So they could be kind of they did the Diablo remaster and they help with that, and this could mean kind of more assets for Blizzard to produce 3 projects at a time, which is apparently what they're working on now. So we will see if that pans out. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care.